All right, well, I thought I'd try something different. It's absolutely miserable out here, and I'm on a taper run for the Manchester Marathon, which is in 4 days' time. I thought I'd go live, see if anybody actually tunes in. So if they don't, I'll just talk away to myself, and that's okay, I don't really mind. It's miserable, gives me something to do, takes my focus away from the fact that it is a miserable evening. My wife told me that I should run this morning. She was like, oh, you should get out this morning, it looks fine. I said, no, it's all right, I'll do it this evening after work. And lo and behold, it's absolutely miserable. So the sun was out this morning, I should have been out. I'm only doing 2.3 miles, so not a long run. Feels like a high-risk manoeuvre doing a live video, because I think there's every possibility that no one's going to tune in to watch this live. Oh no! There's somebody on! Oh, hello. I don't know who. Someone's on. There's one person watching. This is amazing. It's all worthwhile. I don't know if you can leave me a comment or say hello or something. I don't know how this works. I've never done a YouTube live, but this is very exciting. And my pace just picked up. Oh my goodness. Hang on a minute. Oh, I lost him. Hey! How you doing, Mark? Nice to see you. Just trying to mix it up here, mate. It's miserable. I bet the weather in Peru is considerably better than it is here. Just doing a 2.3 miles, very gently, plodding around the field in my trail shoes. I've lost Mark. Mark's gone. Nice to have you there, mate. Oh, you're back. Excellent. Just, yeah, out on a run. So I'm just gonna keep talking away. So 4 days until the marathon. One of the things that I talked about in one of my early videos is my anxiety around crowds. And I think for the best part, I'm actually starting to feel all right about the crowds and starting to kind of come around to the idea that they're going to be quite a positive influence. I think just having people cheering is going to be really good. I have bought the most ridiculous pair of shorts, which, yeah, there's no way I won't be noticed, so that'll be quite fun. Oh, I'm pleased to hear it's hot where you are. I love running in the heat. I love running in the extremities. Extremely cold, sub-zero is delightful. Boiling hot is delightful. English gales and wind, less so. Absolutely miserable. So, yeah. I'll tell you what, this hurts my arm. Filming with the GoPro is much easier than trying to hold a iPhone level and upward. Not that my iPhone's all that heavy, but I'm trying to keep it standard. Anywho, just going to keep on running. Mark, I hope all the family are well, and I hope that life in Peru is treating you well. I always imagine, I don't know why, that running there would be quite dangerous, but I guess it's all quite safe. But I've never been to South America, so it's out of my field of experience. I'm just chuntering away. We've got, so let's have a think about this. Doing 2.3 miles. So we've possibly got about 19 minutes of live awkwardness. Are you planning to film your marathon? The jury's out. The jury's out on this. I have thought about it. Carrying the GoPro is fine. Laura's going to be there supporting, and if I can kind of almost carry it for a few miles and pass it off, that might be okay. I have my iPhone, so maybe I could go live a couple of times. But that being said, if I do want to try and get that 3 hour, which I have no idea, I think it's highly unlikely that I'll get there. I'm not going to have a lot of spare breath. As you can tell now, the more I talk, the more laboured it is. I do try and I actually think, I don't know if it must be a good workout, talking excessively. I mean, my heart rate is way higher than it should be for the pace I'm running. It's up at 155, but I think that is just because I'm just chattering away. So it's a good experiment, but I'm taking it easy. It's all right. 155 isn't crazy high, so there'll definitely be some content. Whether I can do the GoPro, I think my long-term goal is definitely to probably do a second marathon later in the year. It's funny because there was a whole load of footage that didn't capture for some reason on my run on Saturday, but one of the things I was saying is I found it quite frustrating kind of pinning everything on a marathon, so I'm not sure whether I'll do a structured routine next time or something, but I'd love to get to a point where I was fit enough to be able to do the marathon and film it. I suppose I could do a chest strap and wear it on my chest, but equally that all feels a little bit cumbersome, so yeah. Thanks, Mark, for joining me on this. Clearly my fan base isn't what I thought it was. I thought there would be thousands watching and tuning in to PKS Run's first ever live stream, but I think I misread it. I think I misread the room a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe next time I'll bring my guitar, do some singing whilst we go. That could be a little bit more niche. Or maybe even bring one of those whole band things like a Mary Poppins, big bass drum on my back and a horn. I think that would be entertaining. Genuinely, I think people would enjoy that. So I'll make a note, I'll add that to the list of things to strategies for PKS runs. Not that I really have any time to do it very much more than just this. I've got no idea what happens to this video at the end. I don't know whether YouTube just deletes it or whether the real diehard fans get to watch this back and see what the unedited PKS runs looks like. Otherwise it could just be me and you, Mark. Thank you for sticking with me, I really do appreciate that. But I think one of the other things, so filming the marathon, that's certainly something. The other thing, I thought I had an interesting idea. My brother-in-law Ed has got a drone. I thought it might be quite fun to find somewhere where he can film me beginning to end to do a 5k time trial, and the whole thing filmed from the point of view of a drone. So I thought that could be quite interesting. He was also telling me that he's thinking about doing a 100-mile paddleboard event down the River Wye, and I suggested we could make that a race. He could paddleboard and I'd go on foot, and a bit of a multi-day running adventure. So that could be in the future for me. Certainly up for trying something just a little bit different. At some point, oh my goodness, we've got 2 viewers now. This is insane. That's practically a capacity crowd filling. So it's asking me stuff. No, that's it. It's practically a sellout with 2 viewers. What was I saying? Yeah, it's just, I like the idea of maybe mixing it up, doing something a bit different. I'd like to raise some money for, at some point, I didn't really get my act together, but the brain tumour charity, my sister-in-law that died back in January, she died from a brain tumour, which she had been suffering with for 10 years. And yeah, the brain tumour charity, obviously, I think they research and give support to families dealing with people with brain tumours, and so it'd be good at some point to raise some money for them. I just haven't been able to get my act together to organise that. I know that I probably just need to set up a Just Giving page, but I've just not had the bandwidth to do that. So I will do an event. An ultra marathon would be a great one to do, actually, for that. I kind of feel like everyone does marathons these days. Everyone raises money for a marathon. I think you've got to do something that really captures people's imagination, something that's a bit different. So lots of people do ultra marathons, in fairness. So that's not like that's particularly original. Hang on a minute. There we go. Just need to sort my cap. It really is, I don't know if I've said this, but it really is miserable this evening. Part of my compulsion and my obsession, I don't know if I've mentioned, I've got quite an OCD character, but I'm on a running streak of 130 days, and I'm not prepared to relinquish that. Hang on, let's stop and read that. Sister-in-law sounds great. Yeah, it would be really good to raise money for that. It was really sad. We've all been preparing for it for a long time, but we never knew when that time would be. And grief, death is always hard. It's always painful. It's always emotional. I did the worship at the wedding, and I don't think I've ever cried so much. It was incredibly poignant. But yeah, where was I? Ultra marathons, weather, miserable, obsessive running streaks. So really in a taper, but again, I've not really followed any sort of plans, so I'm not really read up on this, but I'm not going to be having a rest day, so to speak. I'm going to do a couple of these 2-3 mile runs, maybe a 1 miler. I think they call it a shakeout run on the Saturday. I don't know what that means really, because I feel like every run is a shakeout run, but I'll just be taking it easy this week, and then a bit of carb loading, enjoy some food. But that's an interesting one, the food, the nutrition, because I'm in good shape, I'm in alright shape, but I'm not quite in the shape that I'd like to be to run a marathon, and so I'm very conscious this week that I can't eat as much as I normally do when I'm training. And so that's a funny one, really. Oh, I don't know what happened there. But weight really does make a difference, actually, when you're running that distance, carrying, it's like carrying a small child on your back. I'm not saying that I am, or I am that much over what I would like to be, but I'm a little bit. There's a bit of excess there, but that's not where I'm carrying it, if I'm honest. I'm going to get a fresh skin fade on Friday. I'm going to wax my legs, shave my chest, do some topiary in other areas, minimise all weight that I can. Oh, why are we, what the, oh dear, the camera's turned around. Oh, sorry about this, the camera's turned around, I don't know how to get it back. Oh, I'm back. Kevin Sinfield, Ultra Stuff. No, I'll have a look at this. I've enjoyed reading quite a few books about ultra runners. I mean, years and years and years ago, it was Dean Karnazes that really inspired me. But last year, I read Finding Ultra by Rich Roll, and that was incredible. I mean, just so inspiring. You know, an average Joe who goes on to be, you know, one of the fittest men in the world, effectively. Oh, look at this. Miserable. But, you know, I really love the kind of concept of just pushing to see, you know, what's the human body and human mind capable of. So the ultra seems like the natural next step. Oh, what's it doing? Why is it doing this? And obviously, I'd probably start with something easy. Maybe well, I say easy, something flat. You know, we're certainly not at the, you know, the Mont Blanc stage or the Marathon des Sables. Definitely don't have a triathlon in me. I can't swim for toffee. My front crawl, I can do about one length in the pool, and then I feel like I'm going to have a cancel. I get to the end of the pool, I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack. I can literally run for hours on end, but one length of the pool, everyone says it's all about technique, but if I'm honest, I don't want to have to go through the humiliation of probably having to have swimming lessons.
Lap 2, 9:49. So, lap pace 9:50.
A lot of pride there. You'll be pleased to know that this rambling wreck will soon be arriving back at home. Wet, and why do you keep on changing? I think it's because it's raining. I think it thinks that the rain is my fingers. It's definitely been an experiment. I think having this on a gimbal on a sunny day would make a lot of sense. I've not picked the best conditions for my premiere streaming episode, but there's still 2 people viewing, probably in a different browser. Just left it open just to humour me, but still, I do appreciate it. It's very hard trying to, sort of, as I said in the video yesterday or the day before, it's hard sort of trying to keep content going and editing them. So actually the live format is quite a good format because I can just chat away and people can tune in, skip through it if they want. There's no, you know, I've not spent hours trying to edit it or add music or, oh, it's spinning around again. So yeah, just have a little look at the watch. Heart rate's back at 147, so that's good. But what's the distance? I don't know. Everything's playing okay. You probably can't even hear what I'm saying. The wind is brutal. The rain is brutal. So I tell you what, I'm just about at my house. So at this point, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Technology has got the better of me. I'm back home 20 minutes later, and I should have just done 2.3 miles. Oh, good. I'm pleased to hear that. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate your feedback. And we'll see you again. I'll try and do another one of these before Sunday, hopefully in better conditions. And yeah, thanks for staying with me.